Dante's first fucking show got shut down because the power went out in San Francisco.
Well, I was there.
You were there. You were there for that one, but
I was there for the darkness. I just sat in the dark.
Dude,
I was like, "Who the fuck is that guy on the stage?
City.
Get them the fuck off the stage."
I didn't sit in the dark.
Have you talked about that in an interview? What happened at your first Above the Bridge show? Have you talked about that yet?
Yes, but I don't know if I feel like I've mentioned it so many times that I've had to talk about it by now.
Okay.
I've mentioned it countless times.
It's fucked, dude. Okay, anyway, the second show, when it didn't happen, it was a beautiful audience of some. Also felt good because there were a lot of people from high school who didn't really believe in me, but then they were there, and then they were very supportive after. Very, very, very nice after. No, but there was this one really, really cool moment where I was talking about that song that I was talking about with you, Fairweather. And I was like, hey, this is like about this. And then there was someone in the audience. I was like, how is anyone feeling this way? And then there was this girl that was like, me.
That girl was hyped up.
Yeah, she was like ready to fucking
I wonder if she watches these.
She got hurt. She got so hurt. I hope so.
She probably does. I think a lot of people at this show watch these.
But I gave her the microphone though, and then she told the whole like crowd the situation. I was like, wow, like I really connected with the crowd in this area of things. And also just in terms of like what I was wearing at that show, the songs that I did. That's my most favorite show I've ever done, dude. Like for sure. The Above the Bridge show.
Thank you, bro. It's a big compliment.
Was that the first day I met you, Lance?
That was the first day we ever met. Oh, dude, and then remember we went over to Cameron's house, Jave's drummer.
Yeah.
And then we did a previous.
Shout out Cam.
That's so crazy.
Shout out Cam. He's so fucking cool. Have is also really, really cool.
Shout out to all the Have gang.
Shout out all of them. We did a strip back show, and then, dude, I think one of the first things I heard out of Monet's mouth is he was like, it was so nice to meet you. And then later when I did the show, I was like, hey, Monet, like slide through. And then I performed, that song that I was talking about. Monet's like, bro, I almost cried hearing that shit. I was like, that's insane that I like make a connection.
That song is so good, bro.
Thank you, bro. It's one of my favorite songs. I really do hope I could put it out. Maybe not as Lance Redeker, maybe side project. I'm not sure. But that song means a lot to me.
Yeah, bro, it's a good one.
That was put on Holbrook.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Whoa. That kind of would make sense. Dude, that moment, that night we went to Cam's was so.
How did you feel at that?
That's something I've never talked about. I've never talked about in an interview. I think how do I put this? I was very distraught. Obviously.
Yeah, so to the audience, to the listeners, this is when Dante's thing got shut down. All the power went out when someone was on stage. So the backup plan was to go over to someone's house with way less people from the show and then perform.
Just for the homies.
Just for the homies in the backyard.
Shout out to Cam.
Yeah.
He had us over at his house. And we just did the strip back show.
That was very chaotic. That was very fucking.
Very chaotic.
Well, yeah, here you talk about. I'll talk about my experience that day too.
Yeah, I'll talk about mine too.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's get three perspectives.
This is a really good interview. It's really good. This is a really good this is very entertaining. If I were a listener,
Thanks, bro.
I'd be into it.
Appreciate that. All right, let me, this is a very interesting thing to talk about, but I'm trying to think of the best way to do it. I think that when it happened, it was, the immediate emotion was confusion. So that was the immediate emotion.
I think that was everyone's.
And then it was like fear, because it was actually like a very dangerous situation that I felt responsible. Obviously I wasn't responsible for it, but I feel like I was in a lot of ways responsible for everybody being there. I mean, as were you and a lot of other people, all the performers, obviously. But
I really felt bad for your friend Ian, who came from out of state.
That was fucked up.
That's
but
really
yeah,
fucked up.
it was like the first emotion was like confusion, the second was fear, and the third was like disbelief. I remember like I was very, very, very much in shock, and I didn't really know how to take it. And like I felt like at first it was like I was like, no, this isn't happening. Like, this is not happening. And then like it happened, and then as it kind of set in, I was just like, what the fuck happened? Everything that I did and tried and really, wanted was like just gone for that. And it was so like disheartening, because it felt like I put so much into that, and it was like it was just brutal. But I think my mindset, like after as this is my mindset with most things like this that happen. I feel like I almost immediately was like, all right, what's next? Like that's kind of always my mindset is. I'm grateful for that, but I was like immediately I was like, what's next? And then we did the thing at Cam's, whatever. But I was never like, oh, fuck this, like, I'm done. Like, my immediate thought was, like, how am I going to get this to work again? Yeah. And we did. We figured it out. But it was really, really embarrassing.
Yeah.
Even though it had nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
Because you put, it's your biggest fear. There's a, you're going to laugh at this, but there's a scene in Moneyball at the very end.
This fucking guy, dude. This fucking guy.
Where Peter Brand shows Billy Bean this video, and it's supposed to rationalize like what it is to have fear. And it's this video of this really overweight dude. He's playing baseball, and this guy, as Peter Brand explains, is afraid to run past first base. He's afraid to round first base because he's so afraid that he'll get thrown out in an embarrassing fashion. And there's this video, and he gets like a hanging slider, and he just smacks it, right? And he puts his head down and he runs. And Peter Brand, I know exactly. That's funny. I know the quote. He's like, and here he's gonna do something that he's never done. He's gonna turn the corner and he's gonna round first base. And then the guy does it, and he eats shit. And he falls, and like it's super embarrassing. And like Peter Brand is like, this guy's exact fear coming to light. This is his exact fear becoming a reality in every way you could have imagined. It's the worst possible scenario. But what the guy didn't realize was that he hit a home run. Like the guy didn't realize the ball went 60 feet over the fence. And that was the biggest fear. But in reality, him even challenging that was the best thing that ever could happen to him.
Yeah.
It was the best case scenario.
And then you threw an amazing show, and I'm speaking as like an Above the Bridge supporter and fan and your friend. You threw the best show that I've ever done.
Thanks, bro.
With very supportive Bay Area people and a good crowd.
Yeah.
So how did that feel when the second time around, you know, you ran around and then you hit the home run on the second time?
Very gratifying.
Yeah.
It felt like it was supposed to happen, and you know, it's really easy to get back and be like, oh, I wish that was how the first one went. But it wasn't, and that's okay. But I also felt like as the smoke cleared and I began to, like, think about the whole experience, I felt like I related it to, like, when you're, like, on... I think when you're onto something, the universe has, like, a weird, funny way of, like, kicking you in the throat one more time, just to make sure you're really made for it. Make sure you really want it. Make sure you're really ready for it. And if you're not, you'll stop. But
then maybe it's not your thing.
Then maybe it's not for you.
Maybe it's not for you.
Yeah.
But the universe knows that if you get kicked in the throat enough times and you get back up and you keep going, eventually it can't do anything. Like eventually it'll stop. There's one of my favorite books. I feel like I referenced this a lot too. It's called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and it takes the concept of failure and it like humanizes it and calls it Old Man of Failure. And there's he talks about how if you defeat Old Man Failure enough times, eventually he'll grow tired and walk away. You only got to beat him a certain amount of times. Like he can only come back at you so many times, you know? What was your experience like that day?
Oh, wait, dude. Wait, do you want to?
Yeah, dude. I had such a beautiful time. It was such a unique experience coming to this venue. Pitch black, energy's out, car accident in the front.
That was scary.
Bruh.
That was like for me. I was like, holy crap! Like this is a
serious,
very interesting experience.
Yeah.
And everyone was outside the venue, and after that we go to Cam's house, and oh my god, that was like, that honestly felt like one of the coolest things I've done.
That's one of the
like
coolest
all
things
year.
I've ever done, honestly.
Because me and my friends who I came to the show with came into this random house, and there's this giant stairwell that overlooks.
It was awesome.
It was like an indie movie or something. It was beautiful, and I had like, I wish that everyone at that venue could have had that same experience I had
Me
there,
too.
because I felt like that experience was pretty special for me. Because 1, I got to meet Lance. 2, I got to meet Dante for the very first time. And that was like, you were definitely standing out. You were vibing the hardest in the audience. And you had some great energy to you. And I just remember automatically like seeing you and like feeling like, man, I want to stand next to this guy.
Thanks,
and
bro.
that's exactly what I did. I stood right next to you and watched Lance perform.
Yeah, I remember I talked to Monét on the phone after like he met you, and he's like, dude, I like love Dante. Like, you know, I like we should get to know him more. And then that's when I was like, oh, we're actually looking for an extra roommate.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Is that when you asked Dante? Like, did you not have that idea to move in with Dante before?
No, we had
knew
idea.
we were moving in for a while, bro. How long has it been since we've known that we're moving in with you? Like, oh, we're moving in.
For a while.
It's been a while, bro. Because it started out with
it was
us-
kind of just piecing everything else together.
Dude, it's like it's been so long that I can't even remember how long we've been fucking thinking about
me
it,
neither.
dude.
Crazy. Okay, so it goes far back then.
It goes pretty far back.
It was a
bro.
while
We
ago.
both really wanted to move, you know, and then I'm like, if we both really want to move and we're just fucking hanging out and shit.
Yeah.
Because Dante and I, it's like, Dante's the type of dude I'll go to get groceries with and I'll have a fun time doing that. Or it's
Thanks,
like a
bro.
chill time doing. Yeah. I mean, maybe this will age horribly. I haven't gotten sick of anyone yet at the house, which is good. But,
We just gotta be communicative.
yeah. No, we're very communicative. That's why I was like, I think this will work with Dante because we're very, very like
That's our relationship
that's
too.
how
I feel like.
yeah, we're very brutally honest with each other when we need it. And if we don't need it, which is good.
That's definitely our relationship. I
Yeah.
feel like.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I think we had our moments of communication where we were just like arguing, but that like happened before we moved in with each other. You know? Like over little things.
Yeah, I also think both of us have like grown up a lot. I feel like in
Yeah.
our relationship for sure.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. To talk about your first show, dude. So Monét talking about the car accident, right?
Yeah,
What
that was genuinely so scary. Like,
Have was on stage performing, and then I was looking for my pair of shoes backstage. So me and Steven.
I've actually never heard your take on this.
You never heard my take on this?
No.
Me and Steven, we went backstage, right? And so this was as the show was going on and all the power was on. And then we walk out, and then all of a sudden there's like the only light that's on is the exit sign that's like above the backstage area. So we're
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is going? Did we hit something in the back? That was our first thing.
Oh
we were
my
like, fuck, did
god.
we hit something back here? Even though we definitely didn't, but we thought that we fucking hit something.
Imagine if you did the
Power.
whole time. Imagine this whole time you just
You
didn't
fucking
tell
killed
me.
it. Yeah.
It killed the show.
So actually,
I would have just on air just like started beating the shit out of you.
No, but what we thought is really like, fuck, did we kick something? Like, what happened? And it was really scary. And so we see that everything is fucking pitch black, bro. Oh, keep talking.
Yeah, keep talking. I was tilting
Okay. Okay, yeah, no, so we thought that, like, we were like, okay, fuck, did we make the power go out? And it was like, it would be like a one take, like on like a hand grip in a movie. It would be like a one take fucking 10-minute scene because it was so stressful. And we just walked outside and we fucking see a car just crash into another fucking car.
Oh, so you went out the back door.
No, we didn't go out the back door. We went out like the entrance, bro. And we went out, fucking car crash. And we're like, what the fuck happened? And then the green room was like right next to the green room for some reason had power. So everyone was kind of
so bizarre.
Everyone was just kind of in the green room thinking that there was World War III going on, despite it would.
So
it
they
just
had
only be
everybody in the green room
purge.
had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, no, and then it was really confusing. It was really, and then we saw everyone go out of the venue, and we thought the power would go back on, but obviously that wasn't the case at one point. But there were a lot of times when you'd go back and forth to like check up on the artist, like, okay, I need to go talk to Gerald. You took a shot because we got like alcohol like nearby, and then you're like, all right, I'm gonna go back out, and you did your job, and you kind of just like stayed like as I don't know, as cool as you possibly could, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I think in moments like that, even like then, you didn't crack. You know, there's a few people that would crack
Yeah.
under
Sure,
such
you
a stressful
stayed
time.
really cool.
Thanks,
and
bro.
you were still having a good time at Cam's.
You had a very
Like-
good time at Cam's, dude.
I was trying so hard to have a good time at Cam's.
Yeah.
I was trying so hard to not
but
fucking.
you were happy though, right? At that, like, to a degree, or were you like kind of thinking about like, fuck, like,
I was like, it took everything in my, because that's like my kind of my worldview. I try really hard to like
look on the bright side.
To keep optimism even within the most negative situations. It was taking everything that I fucking had to like not be miserable in that very specific instance. It was very hard, but I did. I remember really specifically after that we went. Me and the team had an Airbnb, which is another thing that sucked. But we went back to Airbnb. It was in the city. It was like right outside of the. No. It was in the Sunset. Yeah, it was a house in the Sunset, and it was really cool. It was a great Airbnb. But I went back to it, and I was sitting on the porch and just thinking, and I was just like there, and I was like, what just happened, man? And I wrote this down, and I keep this pinned to the top of my notes. I wrote, it's titled 5/30/22. Hey Dante, when you wrote this, you were sitting on the porch of your Airbnb in San Francisco at 3:34 a.m. after your first show got postponed due to a citywide power outage. When you read this years later, just know it was all worth it. So I pinned that to the top of my notes.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
But yeah, that's Dante's trauma.